Phil, it's been an absolute pleasure working with your team to organise the Asian Fire Service Association Conference 2021. But let me just ask you, how has it been for you and your team in organising this fantastic event where we've got more delegates than ever before?
Yeah, look, it's been fantastic. Working with AFSA just brings us different insights from a Merseyside perspective, and certainly some of our staff. They've really benefited from the experience and the relationship that they've built with AFSA over the time. So we spent the last, as you say, 2-3 months really focusing in now on the conference itself, and we've drawn in some really powerful speakers from across Merseyside but beyond. And I think with the experiences that they will benefit from that is.
I think the richness that you've brought is the diversity of speakers. This is not an NFCC event where firefighters and fire officers talk to fire officers. It's that diversity we're going to get. We're going to get Maurice Duffy later on. We're going to get John Barnes. We've got the minister speaking. So you've got the good and the great. And of course, you've got your grassroots people from the NHS and the fire service. Is there anything you're particularly looking forward to?
Well, I think the diversity of the speaker, to be perfectly honest with you. So we talk about kind of ethnicity, we talk about gender, we talk about neurodiversity. There's some of the things which are really at the forefront of Fire and Rescue Services' minds at this moment in time. Obviously, being from Liverpool, John Barnes speaking, and I know John speaks with a great deal of kind of passion, a great deal of integrity, and he's quite punchy and he's quite focused in on maybe not saying the things that we would expect him to say. I think that's something I'm really looking forward to. But I tell you what, there's a good number of speakers who will bring a really good insight into inclusive leadership and how we can do things a little bit differently and a little bit better in the future.
And for me, finally, that's exactly what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking for the diversity of speaker. I'm looking for the passion. I'm looking to link in with the current news at the moment around COVID, around vaccine denial. I'm looking forward to the debating the story around Yorkshire Cricket Club and structural institutional discrimination. So for me, Phil, you are the catalyst for the next level of change. Is there anything that you would also be saying to people who are now listening into this conversation? Look forward to these podcasts that we're going to produce because they're going to be inspirational.
Yeah, and look, you've hit on a couple of really kind of current issues. COVID's been with us for a while, but there's certainly some issues for us to consider. There's some learning that we can take away. There's some things that we can explore and discuss throughout the next couple of days. If you look at Yorkshire Cricket Club, that's really in your face at this moment in time, and I think it's right that we would have that discussion, open, honest, explore the kind of the ways in which it's been dealt with, and how we can take some of that learning and apply it into the Fire and Rescue Service, because we are not perfect by any means, and we know there's some stuff that we can take from the experiences of others. But it's important, Jack, that we all recognise the fact that sometimes you've got to call some of this stuff out. And you've seen that more latterly. And
Phil, the one thing we haven't mentioned so far is your leadership for the conference. That's made this happen. The other thing is your leadership leading forward. So in 12 months' time, 18 months' time, people are going to look back and say, it was at Merseyside Fire and Rescue Service we kicked off the project around mental health. So we don't know where it's going to lead, but we know over the next 2 days we're going to discuss what the terms of reference are, where we want to go, what the issues are. But your conference will be when we started that conversation. Have you got any comments around mental health in the fire service or to lead us into the discussions?
Well, I suppose like anything else, it's a huge issue for the Fire and Rescue Service, and always has been. Sometimes we've put a lid on some of those issues for the fear of of what may follow. But the fact of the matter is now we are lifting the lid, and we've seen it more. As you say, we referenced COVID previously. So not only are the issues around mental health in the Fire and Rescue Service anyway, but you've also got the added kind of focusing on the COVID relationship with members of our own teams and how they've overcome some of the challenges, and even just some of the initial conversations I've had with people coming to the conference today, first time they're meeting people face to face, some kind of concerns, some reservations, but so it's right at the centre of what we're about, and it's really refreshing the fact that we are starting that here, and like any journey we have to start it with the first step.
Phil, I'm really looking forward to working with you, listening to the key lessons, developing our podcasts, writing our short notes. looking at the Twitter, we will be sharing the learning, not just with 200 at the conference, but much wider. But that's thanks to you and your team, who have been absolutely tremendous, Phil. So thank you very much.
Yeah, look, and Jack, it comes from the leadership of the Asian Fire and Rescue Service Association too. You know, without your and your team's kind of interventions, without the work that you do across the whole of the UK Fire and Rescue Service, we wouldn't be here. Trust me. You know, I might try and might use the NFCC as the springboard to doing some of the work, referencing some of the challenges that we face, improving diversity across the sector. But without the Asian Fire and Rescue Service, we wouldn't be here. So very grateful to you and your organisation too.
Much appreciated. Thank you, Phil.